Again, before your session, you will be sent all of your materials you're going to need for your lesson that week with your student. So this is what it looks like. You'll be sent a lesson plan, which will contain every step you're going to need to complete your lesson with your student. You'll also be sent a Google slide presentation, which you will be sharing your screen with to your student so that they can see this slide. And this is what you'll work through with them. You'll also be sent a student and tutor read aloud ebook, and this is what you'll be reading to them and they'll be reading to you, and everything's pre-assigned there. So when you get this email from your coordinator, just make sure you take some time to review each of these components so that you're feeling better and more prepared for your session that week. So this is what the beginning readers lessons look like. In blue, we have a script for you that you could read word for word with your student to deliver your session. We also have text that's in black, and this is what is going to be an instruction or a tip for you as the tutor. We also have a word in orange, click, followed by a sentence in black that's going to be telling you what's going on with the slide if you click it. For example, this slide here says click the right arrow once to go to the next slide. Sometimes it might say click the slide once for a definition to appear, or click the slide once for an animation to happen too. On these lesson plans, there is also two columns on the far right. The first column here is referring to a slide number. So it'll be telling you what slide you need to be on as you read this scripting. And it's also going to be showing you in the far right column what should be showing up on the PowerPoint as you go through it. These lesson plans all follow an I do, we do, you do pattern. So I do, we're going to introduce the skill. We do, we're going to apply that together. You do, we're going to check for understanding of the student to make sure that they're getting that skill on their own. And typically these beginning readers lessons also have a student read aloud portion where they'll read through a passage or a book with you. Some of the beginning readers lessons, not all of them, have a fluency component where you'll have your student read through a passage again or read through a story again. And we're just going to be checking for more fluent reading, for more smooth reading and understanding there with the student. So when you get this, just take some time to review it and make sure you understand what each of the components and each part of the lesson is asking you to do. This is what an advancing readers lesson looks like. So they also have the blue text, which is a script for you as the tutor to deliver these sessions. There's also, again, text that's in black. That's going to be telling you what to do as the tutor, so it's a tip or an instruction for you. And there's also that word in orange, click, that's just going to be telling you what's going on with the slide. So these advancing readers lessons also follow that I do, we do, you do principle, where I'm going to introduce the skill to the student. So in this lesson, we're talking about story structure. So I'll just introduce that to my student. Then we'll go through a guided reading portion where we're both going to be working through this skill together and just checking for understanding there. So in these advancing readers lessons, you'll have some questions and prompts to go through with your student as they're reading. And there's typically an independent response for your student at the very end where we're, again, just going to be checking for understanding and make sure that your student can have these skills independently. For your student read aloud, all of these books are going to be pre-assigned and housed on the Reading IQ website. So this is what's going to be in your lesson plan from your coordinator. So make sure you pull that up before you start your session so that you can click to it and start reading right on time. There's also the tutor read aloud portion, which should just take about 5 to 10 minutes. But what we're doing here is just trying to expose our students to more complex level text, some more different comprehension levels as well. But we also want to be modeling what good reading looks and sounds like for our student. And it's also an opportunity for us to have some relationship building and expand our students' interest in different books and different topics. And it's also an opportunity for us to engage in some authentic discussion with our students as well. On this next slide, you'll be prompted again with a question. So take some time to review this information and answer that question to your best ability.